The party was on a rooftop. Of course it was, because nothing screams bad decisions ahead like getting tipsy near the edge of a building. I hadn't even wanted to go. My roommate dragged me out, said I needed to touch grass and stop rewatching Call Me by Your Name in my hoodie. Rude, but fair. So there I was, surrounded by sweaty college kids in crop tops and mesh, EDM blasting from sketchy speakers, and beer being poured into plastic pumpkins for some reason. And then Leo showed up, my best friend, my straight best friend. He wasn't supposed to be there. He told me he had a study group, some fake excuse involving physics and existential dread. But there he was, climbing the stairs in a fitted black shirt, hair tousled from the wind, looking around like he owned the night. I turned my back immediately. Nope, not tonight. Not when even the idea of him breathing near me made me feel like I might explode. Too late. "Yo, Jack," he called. I closed my eyes, deep breath, fake smile. I turned around. "Leo," I said. "Wow, physics must have really changed." He grinned. "What can I say? The laws of attraction pulled me here." I blinked. Was that a pun? He stepped closer. It was a terrible pun. Possibly illegal. He laughed, and I hated how my heart melted all over again. We drifted through the crowd like we were tethered by invisible strings. He never noticed how close he stood, how his arm would brush mine like it meant nothing. Like handing me his drink and telling me to try this wasn't absolutely loaded. It always felt like flirting, even if he didn't mean it that way. Or maybe he did. I could never tell. That was the thing about Leo. He'd say things like, "Love you, man," and hug you just a little too long. Then go date girls named Brooke or Taylor, girls who wore matching tennis skirts and posted gym selfies. We found a quieter corner near the DJ booth. Quieter meaning slightly less screaming. "Why'd you really come?" I asked. He shrugged. Felt like I was missing out. "And you're here." "You came because I'm here?" I asked. He nodded, casual as ever. "Yeah, I like hanging out with you." My heart did a backflip and smacked into the ceiling. Before I could say anything, a guy in a crop top walked up to me. "You're cute," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Want to dance?" I blinked. Leo looked at the guy like he was a math problem he didn't want to solve. I started. "He's good," Leo said, stepping between us. "Thanks, though." The guy rolled his eyes and walked off. I stared at Leo. "Seriously?" He looked smug. "Didn't like his vibe. You didn't like his crop top." "That too." "Are you jealous?" I asked. He snorted. "Nah, just protective." "Protective of your gay best friend at a queer rooftop party?" He smiled, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. "You're allowed to like other guys, just not guys like that." I didn't know what to say, so I said nothing. We kept walking. And then, out of nowhere, he grabbed my hand, just like that. Like it was nothing. I froze. He didn't let go. "Crowd's thick," he said. "Don't want to lose you." Right. Navigation. Totally normal. We ended up near the edge of the roof, away from the noise. The city stretched out below us like a living painting. Still, he didn't let go of my hand. "I've been thinking," he said softly. My stomach flipped. "About what?" He looked at me. Really looked at me. Like I wasn't just his sidekick. Like I wasn't just his emotional support gay. "About how I've never felt for anyone the way I feel around you." My chest tightened. "Leo, I know what you're thinking," he cut in. "That I'm drunk. That it's just party energy. But it's not." I stared at him. "Have you ever felt something you can't explain?" he said. "Like gravity pulling you toward one person, and you don't know why, but it just feels right?" I nodded. "Barely." He stepped closer. "That's how I feel, every time I'm near you." The rooftop noise faded away. The crowd disappeared. It was just us and the stars. I whispered, "Then why do you keep running from it?" He took a deep breath, and in the most dramatic, absolutely Leo way possible, he leaned in and whispered, "Because I'm scared that if I kiss you, I won't want to stop." And then he did it. He kissed me. Right there, at a party, on a rooftop, with strangers all around and the bass vibrating through our feet. He kissed me like it wasn't the first time, like he'd been holding it in forever. And when he finally pulled away, eyes wide, breath uneven, he whispered, "Okay, now I'm officially freaking out." Then he just walked away, left me standing there, heart pounding, lips tingling, wondering if that really just happened, or if the night had completely short-circuited my brain. It had been exactly 42 minutes since Leo kissed me on that rooftop and disappeared like he was starring in the season finale of a Netflix teen drama. Yes, I counted. I had been replaying that kiss in my head on a cursed, endless loop, his hand on my jaw, the brush of his thumb across my cheek, the way he pulled back, like he'd just done something wild and wonderful, and then bolted. So there I was, standing alone in the stairwell, trying to decide if I should feel flattered, confused, or completely emotionally wrecked. I settled on all three. Then the door creaked open. I turned, half expecting Leo. Nope, it was Maya, our mutual friend, chaos incarnate, and a human lie detector. She narrowed her eyes the second she saw me. "Why do you look like someone just kissed you and ran off?" I opened my mouth, closed it, opened it again. "Because someone did." Her eyes widened. "Who? Leo?" I blinked. "There's only one Leo, Maya." Her jaw dropped. Then she smacked my arm. "What?" I winced. "Keep your voice down." She dragged me into the hallway like we were in a spy movie. "You're telling me Mr. Jim Schwartz kissed you? On purpose?" "Yes." "And then he panicked and ran?" "Yep." She stared at me, then muttered, "Plot twist." "Exactly." I didn't see Leo for the rest of the night, or the next day, or all of Sunday. No texts, no calls, not even a "sorry I had a gay panic on a rooftop" message. So yeah, I was spiraling. Then Monday came, and finally a text. "Can we talk?" I basically teleported to our favorite diner. He was already there, hunched over in a hoodie, fidgeting with a ketchup bottle like it owed him money. "You disappeared," I said, sliding into the booth. "I know," he murmured, still not looking up. Silence. "You kissed me." "I know that too." I waited. "So, now what?" He took a breath. "I've been thinking about that kiss since it happened, about how it didn't feel like a drunk mistake. It felt real." "You think?" "I know," he said quickly. "That's the problem." I frowned. "Problem?" "I didn't plan to feel this way," he said. "I never thought I'd fall for a guy, let alone you. But that kiss, it made things click, and it scared the hell out of me." I nodded slowly. "That's honest." "And then I realized," he added, voice shaking a little, "it wasn't just the kiss. It's you. I don't need you as my wingman or my best friend. I need you as my person." Something shifted in his voice. Raw, shaky, real. "I've liked you longer than I want to admit," he whispered. My heart did a full backflip. But before I could reply, the diner door swung open, and in walked his ex-girlfriend, Brooke. She spotted us instantly, walked over like she was auditioning to be the villain in a teen drama. "Leo," she said sweetly, "didn't expect to see you here, especially not like this." Leo tensed. I straightened in my seat. Brooke's eyes shifted to me. "You're Jack, right? Best friend?" I forced a smile. "That's me, full-time bestie, part-time emotional support system." She ignored me. "So, is this why we didn't work out? Because of him?" Leo stood up. "Brooke, now's not the time." But she wasn't done. "Wow, makes sense now. You always lit up around him. I was just the cover, wasn't I?" "That's not fair," Leo said. "You and I didn't work out because we weren't right for each other. Not because of Jack." She looked at me again. Must be nice. Stealing someone without even trying. I stood too, calm but cold. "I didn't steal anything. Your relationship ended before I ever kissed him." Her eyes flared. "You kissed Maya?" Leo stepped in, cutting her off. "Go." She huffed, spun on her heel and stormed out, leaving enough tension behind to power the diner's neon sign for a week. We both sank back into our seats. Leo exhaled. Well, that went great. I let out a breathy laugh. Honestly, I've had worse Mondays. He looked at me. You okay? I nodded. You? He smiled, tired but genuine. Better now. We walked home after that. No hand-holding, no grand declarations, just quiet steps and shared glances until we reached my door. He paused. Can I stay over? I looked at him. Yeah, but only if you don't disappear in the morning. I won't, he said. I'm done running. We didn't kiss that night. We didn't even cuddle. We just stayed together. We lay side by side, breathing the same air. The silence wasn't awkward anymore. It was full of possibility. At 3:20 a.m., I whispered, I think I'm falling for you. And from the darkness, he whispered back, too late. I already fell. Waking up next to Leo wasn't what I expected. It was somehow better and worse all at once. Better because there was something impossibly soft about the way his arm rested over my waist, like he was still holding on to the comfort of sleep. And me. Worse because my mind had already fast-forwarded 2 days ahead, wondering what this would look like. When the high faded and reality settled in, I stayed still, eyes half open, not daring to disturb the fragile peace we'd created the night before. The whispered confessions in the dark, the shy smiles traded across pillows, the way he reached for my hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. He shifted beside me, hair messy, hoodie pushed up, voice groggy and unfairly attractive for someone who, just days ago, said he was confused. I didn't sleep much, he mumbled, eyes still closed. Too much thinking? I asked softly. Too much hoping you wouldn't disappear on me. That hit harder than I expected. I'm right here, I said. He cracked one eye open. Don't say that unless you mean it. I mean it, I whispered, then paused. But you have to stop acting like this is some dream you're going to wake up from. Slowly, he sat up, running a hand through his hair, staring at me like he was trying to memorize every detail. Not in a cheesy, movie-like way, but like someone who couldn't believe they were finally close to someone who truly saw them. I'm not dreaming, he said. I'm just not used to feeling this good and it actually being real. That cut deeper than it should have. Later that day, we found ourselves at a small student art show near campus. Old speakers buzzed out music. Coffee carts lined graffiti-splashed walls. Just enough noise and color to make us feel invisible. We hadn't talked about labels, about boundaries, but somehow we were walking shoulder to shoulder, his fingers brushing mine like he couldn't help it. Then once, he just took my hand. No glance, no second thought. He just did it, and I didn't let go. It was quiet intimacy in a loud, messy world, like we were saying something huge without needing to say anything at all. Then came the moment we didn't expect. We stood in front of a huge mural, wild swirls and bold colors that weirdly matched whatever this was between us. Leo leaned in, whispered something ridiculous about it looking like my chaotic Spotify playlist, and laughed so hard he pressed his forehead to mine. It was stupid. It was sweet. It lasted just long enough. And then, click. We both turned at the sound. A girl from our media class, phone in hand, eyes wide. Oh my God, she gasped. You two are like a thing now. Leo's hand dropped from mine like it burned. I froze. She looked between us, realizing too late. Wait, was that a secret? I can totally delete it. It's fine, I said too quickly, too flatly. Leo took a step back. I didn't know anyone was watching, he said, his voice tight. The girl winced. Sorry, I just thought it was cute. You guys seemed real. Then she slipped into the crowd like nothing happened. But it had happened. Leo looked at me, panic in his eyes, fear rising like a tidal wave after years of hiding. I braced for him to call it a mistake, to walk away. But he didn't. Instead, he stepped toward me, close enough for the air to buzz between us, and said, loud enough for anyone nearby to hear, yeah, we're a thing. And then, without hesitation, he kissed me. It wasn't private, it wasn't soft, it wasn't careful. It was a statement, a claim, a short, bold, very public kiss. When he pulled away, people had definitely seen, And Leo? He didn't look scared anymore. He looked free. He laughed under his breath. Well, that's one way to come out. I blinked, still stunned. Are you okay? I'm more than okay, he said. I'm done hiding something that makes me happy. That night, a DM popped up from the girl. You two are officially my new favorite love story. That photo's kind of iconic. Don't worry, I didn't post it. Unless you want me to. I showed it to Leo. He smirked. What do you think? Should we go viral? I looked at the photo, us laughing, heads tilted together, hands almost touching, smiles too real to fake. And for once, I wasn't scared either. Let them see, I said. Let them see everything. By morning, we weren't just a rumor. We were news. The photo got posted, not by us, not even by her. Someone else had seen it. Snapped a blurry shot of Leo holding my hand, our faces too close to be just friends. It spread across campus faster than we were ready for. Suddenly, people were whispering in the hallways. My DMs were a mess of support emojis and, wait, is this real? Messages. And Leo, he wasn't answering his phone. I didn't panic at first. I told myself he just needed space. But by hour 3, when even his roommate hadn't seen him, the worry started to settle in. Not fear of being seen, fear he was pulling away. So I did what any overly dramatic, overthinking person would do. I walked to his place in the rain, because of course it was raining. And of course I forgot an umbrella. Because apparently I live in a YA novel now. I knocked 3 times, no answer. I was just about to leave when the door finally opened. It wasn't Leo. It was James, his roommate, and he looked like someone had just live-streamed a heartbreak. He's upstairs, James said quietly. Hasn't moved, barely said a word. I nodded, soaked and shivering. The door to Leo's room was slightly ajar. Music playing low, his usual mess everywhere. A hoodie on the chair, textbooks half open, a full water bottle untouched. He was lying on his side, facing the wall, completely still. You hiding from the apocalypse or just ignoring me? I asked gently. No response. So I walked in and sat on the edge of the bed. I waited. Finally he spoke, his voice rough and small. I didn't think it would blow up like this. You kissed me in front of 27 people in a mural, I said. What did you think would happen? He turned slowly. His eyes were tired but honest. I don't know, he said. I thought maybe people wouldn't care as much. I softened. Some won't, some will, but none of that changes what happened between us. He sat up, sleeves tugged over his hands, his nervous habit. I got texts, he admitted, from old friends, teammates, my brother. I waited. What did they say? He took a breath. Some were cool, some were confused. One asked if I lost a bet. I let out a small laugh, just to break the tension. But it didn't fix anything. He looked at me, and the worst part wasn't what they said. It was how fast it all happened. Like he had no time to prepare for the version of himself they were suddenly meeting. I reached for his hand. You don't have to figure everything out today, I said softly. But please don't shut me out just because it's hard. He squeezed my fingers tighter. I don't want to shut you out, he whispered. You're the only part of this that feels real. So I stayed, not because I had the perfect words, but because sometimes staying says enough. Hours passed. We talked, really talked, about what scared him, about how he worried that being bi would disappoint the people who never expected anything outside the norm, about how he didn't even know who he was without the straight boy label he'd worn like a hoodie for years. Then out of nowhere, he asked, "Can I take you somewhere?" We ended up at the old soccer field behind the recreation center. It wasn't romantic or cinematic, just dark, quiet, the bleachers soaked from rain. But it mattered. This is where I came out to myself, he said, standing in the center of the field. Last summer, I was alone. I just said it out loud and waited to feel less terrified. I joined him there. What did you say? I asked. He smiled softly. Just 3 words, he said. I like him. And my heart did that stupid, slow flip thing all over again. And then I asked, He looked at me like he was finally done hiding. When I said, "I love you," he didn't shout it. It wasn't some dramatic movie scene confession. It was soft, honest, like a secret finally set free. I forgot how to breathe for a second. "I love you, Jack." The words hit me harder than I expected because this wasn't some party moment. It wasn't a blurry, tipsy rooftop kiss. It was real, sober, gentle, strong. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I was falling. I felt like I had landed. "I love you too," I said. "God, I really do." We didn't kiss right away. We just stood there, forehead to forehead, rain misting around us. The night held us like it knew we needed the stillness. Then he reached for my face, slow and tender, and kissed me like he meant it. Like it wasn't the start of something messy, but the beginning of something true. 2 weeks had passed since that night on the field, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Not because it was perfect, not because it happened under the stars or soaked in rain, like some movie scene, but because it was real. No performance, no confusion. Just Leo, standing still for once instead of running. Things weren't magically easy after that, but they were clearer. He started showing up differently, not just in texts or late-night calls, but in how he stood a little closer in public, how he reached for my hand during walks, how he looked at me like I wasn't a question anymore. But the answer. We didn't rush to label it. He wasn't ready, and I didn't need a title to know what we were becoming. What mattered was that he kept showing up, and he did. But today felt different. Leo had planned something. He wouldn't say what, just told me to dress nice but not too nice. Like I care, but not wedding level care, he said. Incredibly specific and incredibly Leo. He picked me up at 8:30 p.m. in a borrowed car, grinning like he was hiding 18 secrets. He kept checking his hair in the rear view and stealing glances at me. "You nervous?" I asked. "Nope," he said. "You're sweating." "I'm shiny. It's a glow." I rolled my eyes. "Where are we going?" He just smiled. 25 minutes later, we pulled into the parking lot of the place where it all started. The rooftop. Not the chaotic party version. That was long gone. This time it was calm, empty, quiet. String lights wrapped around the railing, casting a soft golden glow across the worn concrete. A blanket was laid out near the edge. 2 mugs, a box of pizza. I stared at it all, then at him. He shrugged. "I figured if everything changed up here, maybe it should come full circle too." He led me to the blanket, sat down and handed me a mug. "Hot chocolate?" I asked, surprised. "Upgraded from cheap beer," he said with a grin. "Character development." We sat in silence for a bit, the city humming beneath us, lights flickering like stars on Earth. There was something about the air up there, like it was easier to breathe, like the weight we used to carry had drifted off into the sky. Leo leaned back, eyes on the skyline. "I used to come here when I didn't know anything," he said. "I'd stare at the lights and try to convince myself I was okay, even when I wasn't." I looked at him, really looked. "But tonight," he continued, "I'm not here because I'm scared." "Then why?" I asked. He turned to me. "Because I'm ready." Ready for what? For people to know, for me to say it out loud, for this to be something I'm not hiding anymore, not behind nervous smiles or half jokes. He reached into his pocket and pulled out something small, a necklace, a simple silver chain with a charm shaped like a compass. He held it out to me. "Because you helped me find my way when I didn't even know I was lost." I took it, my fingers brushing his. The metal was still warm from his hand. "I wanted to give you something that says, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing you." I stared at him, heart full. "This doesn't mean I figured everything out," he added quickly, "but I know this much. I'm in love with you, Jack, and I'm not afraid to say it anymore." The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was perfect, because there was nothing left to doubt. I reached for his hand. "I'm in love with you too," I said, "and I don't need perfection. I just need something real." He leaned in again, slower this time, no fear, and kissed me gently, like it was the kiss we should have had the first time, like the whole world had finally stopped spinning just for this moment. When we pulled apart, he was smiling. So, he said. I raised an eyebrow. That was your pitch? Okay, rude. I brought hot chocolate and symbolism. That's effort, I laughed. Fine, boyfriend. He beamed. God, you're lucky I'm cute. We stayed there long after the sky turned navy blue and the pizza went cold. Just lying under the lights, fingers laced, hearts quieter than they'd ever been. The party was over. The crowd was long gone. The noise, the hiding, the doubt left behind. And all that remained was this, a new beginning. Thank you for staying till the very end. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to Anonymous Gay Crushes for more heartfelt stories. Your support truly means the world.